tombstones tilted and moss-covered mausoleums crumbled into decay. An ancient malevolence lay dormant. Whispers of the supernatural clung to the air like a curse, shrouding the burial ground in an eerie atmosphere that repelled even the most intrepid of souls. Little did a group of unsuspecting teens know that they were about to awaken a force that had long slumbered in the shadows. The Corpse Collector. Drawn by tales of the paranormal, 5 friends, Alex, Sarah, Mark, Emily, and Jake, decided to explore the mysterious graveyard. Armed with flashlights and a sense of teenage invincibility, they ventured into the realm of the dead, eager for a thrill that transcended the mundane horrors of their daily lives. As night descended upon the forgotten graveyard, the moon cast an otherworldly glow over the crumbling tombstones. The air grew colder, and a quiet unease settled upon the explorers. Unbeknownst to them, the malevolent force that lurked beneath the soil stirred, its sinister energy pulsating through the decaying corpses. The teens, oblivious to the encroaching danger, moved deeper into the graveyard, captivated by the eerie ambience. As they exchanged nervous laughter and speculated about the ghosts that might haunt the place, the ground beneath them trembled with an unnatural vibration. Suddenly, the earth erupted as corpses, reanimated by an ancient malevolence, clawed their way to the surface. Limbs twisted and contorted, the dead bodies fused together, forming a grotesque, towering figure. The Corpse Collector, a monstrous amalgamation of bones and flesh. It hungered for the warmth of the living. Panicked, the teens tried to flee, but the Corpse Collector was relentless. It moved with an otherworldly grace, its towering form casting a macabre shadow over the graveyard. The air was thick with the stench of decay as the monstrous entity pursued its prey, driven by an insatiable desire to add fresh bodies to its nightmarish structure. The teens, their hearts pounding in terror, scattered in different directions, hoping to evade the relentless pursuit of the Corpse Collector. The graveyard, once a place of quiet repose, echoed with the anguished cries of the living and the guttural moans of the dead. As the night wore on, the survivors realized the malevolent force controlling the Corpse Collector was more than just a vengeful spirit. It was a manifestation of the graveyard itself, an ancient entity hungry for the souls of the living. In their desperate attempt to escape, the teens stumbled upon forgotten tombs and dilapidated structures, each step a harrowing dance with death. Mark, separated from the group, found himself cornered by the towering abomination. With nowhere to run, he faced the relentless gaze of the Corpse Collector. The grotesque entity reached out with skeletal hands, its touch sending a chill through Mark's very soul. In that moment of despair, he felt the Corpse Collector's icy grip, its intent clear: to add him to its gruesome structure. The remaining friends, now acutely aware of the malevolence that pulsed through the graveyard, devised a plan to outsmart the Corpse Collector. They lured the monstrous entity into the heart of the cemetery, where the graves stood densely packed. Working together, they navigated the labyrinth of headstones, each step a gamble with the forces that sought to claim them. As the Corpse Collector closed in, the teens triggered a series of carefully orchestrated collapses, causing tombstones to topple and graves to open. The malevolent force, momentarily disoriented, faltered in its pursuit. Seizing the opportunity, the friends raced towards the outskirts of the graveyard, their breaths ragged and hearts pounding. The Corpse Collector, now entangled in the chaos it unwittingly created, struggled against the collapsing graves. The teens, fueled by fear and desperation, watched as the monstrous amalgamation sank beneath the rubble, its anguished moans echoing through the graveyard. As dawn approached, the survivors emerged from the graveyard, haunted by the nightmarish ordeal they had endured. The forgotten burial ground, once cursed by the corpse collector's malevolence, returned to a semblance of quiet repose. The teens, forever changed by the horrors they witnessed, carried the weight of that fateful night. The corpse collector became a chilling legend, a cautionary tale whispered in hushed tones. The forgotten graveyard, its secrets buried once more, stood as a solemn reminder that some forces should remain undisturbed, lest they rise to claim the living in a grotesque dance of